John and Terry, Happy Valley is an excited valley tonight. It's a battle of top 25s. Packed house, over 108,000 at Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. 20 years ago, it was a classic matchup. Penn State won that one by 3. And tonight, the faithful, clad in navy and white, are hoping for another miracle as 7th-ranked Nebraska comes to town. But number 25, Penn State, has got upset on their minds. And here come the Nittany Lions. Coming up, Nebraska and Penn State. Joe Paterno, the winningest Division I coach in history, prowls the Penn State sideline at his 4th decade. On the field, he's got a new leader of the Pride, looking to lift the Nittany Lions' fortune skyward. The Eric Crouch era is over in Lincoln. Now his understudy takes center stage. And along with special teams that truly are, and an improved defense, Nebraska again has their opponents seeing red. We're under the lights for only the 7th time in Beaver Stadium history. We expect to set a record crowd-wise tonight. This is the most fans ever to watch Nebraska play in person. They're on the road at Beaver Stadium against the Nittany Lions of Penn State. The Nittany Lion fans have called this Operation Visine. They wanted to keep the red out. But trust me, a few Nebraska Cornhusker fans have found their way into this stadium. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Bob Greasy. Bob, I've never seen a crowd this juiced here, and that might be in more ways than one. But last year we were here for Miami. It was much the same thing. It was a bad start for Penn State, but they finished strong. Nebraska rolling along, and then they got pummeled in the last 2 games of their season last year.
Well, Nebraska is reloading. They lost 12 starters on offense and defense from last year's team. One of the new starters is Jamal Lord, the quarterback. He's been here in Nebraska for 4 years. This will be his 4th start of the season, but all 3 of those starts were back home in Lincoln. This will be the first time when he raises his hands to ask for quiet that the crowd doesn't respond to him.
Well, the guy that will get responded to at quarterback is Zach Mills. We saw him make his debut last year in that Miami game, threw for 240 yards, became kind of a cult hero around here. Now he's the man.
Yeah, Penn State is rebuilding. There's no question about it. Not only talent-wise, but also confidence-wise. They've won 6 of their last 8, and it's because of this man right here. Joe Paterno thinks he may have a franchise quarterback in young Zach Mills. He's that good.
Well, the Penn State coaches made it pretty simple to us. They said, we've got to stop Jamal Lord or we won't win. Zach Mills has to make big plays or we won't win. But it's not about only offense and defense. And with more on that, let's go down to the field. 3rd man in our group, Lynn Swan. Swanee.
Thank you, Brad. Special teams are very important to both these teams. As witnessed by Joe Paterno adding more drills and more responsibility to its unit. But as my friends in Omaha, Phil and Mary Jo Thielen would say, it's Nebraska that puts a special in special teams. Their punter leads the nation. Their field goal kicker has been perfect with 3 over 40 yards. And they've got a very special man returning punts for him. His name is DeJuan Gross, number 5. He's already returned 2 punts for touchdowns. And if he does something special here tonight, all of these people are going to go crazy.
Some of them already are, Swanee. And there's DeJuan Gross. Nebraska is 3-0, but as Bob said, they have not played away from the friendly confines of Lincoln. Penn State deferred to the second half after winning the toss, and the kick goes deep. Josh Davis, 9 yards deep, will not bring it out. So Jamal Lord takes the field, and he's done a nice job taking over for the Heisman Trophy winner, Eric Crouch. Saw some spot duty last year, but mostly it was Crouch, the man leading Nebraska to their 11-2 mark overall. Lord brings them up as Nebraska will work from its own 20-yard line to open the ball game. Judd Davies and Darren Diedrich an eye backfield behind Lord. Crowd is deafening already.
This is not good, trying to check off on your first play. Fumble!
Nebraska covered it. The fullback Davies got on top of it. What a way to start.
Yeah, it's just nerves, trying to do too much.
Here's the group up front, the Alamo starting offensive lineup. Incognito, Erickson. Garrison is a guy that grew up a Penn State fan. Cody and Billy Waldrop across the front wall for the Huskers. Diedrich is the I-back. Davies we've already seen as the fullback. Galladay is the tight end. Hasselbrook and Wilson, Thomas are the wide receivers. Toss and an end around coming already. Pilkington in the lineup for the second play of the ball game, and he goes wide and gets a first down. He got planted over there, but he picked up the first down before Jimmy Kennedy let him have it. Defensively for Penn State, and it's a good front. Davis, Adams, Kennedy, and Michael Haynes. Jimmy Kennedy, a preseason All-American. Stewart, Capone, and Derek Wake back from his injury, the linebacking core. And it's Brian Scott, the best cover man. Mayer will take your head off. Lowry is a freshman, and Rich Gardner the other corner. And there's Jimmy Kennedy, and he's a load. He's trimmed down to about 320. And immediately, Diedrich through the pile, a gaping hole, and he got 12 before Lamar Stewart could bring him down.
The second play of the ball game, Frank Solich, the head coach and offensive coordinator, says these guys are hyped up. Penn State defensively, he runs a reverse to kind of slow them down. Now he establishes the inside power game before he shows them what they're looking for, and that's the option. Good play calling.
Frank Solich in his 5th year, 45-9. His team working its way out past the 45. Ball is loose again. Lord picks it up. Late pitch. And it's Pilkington knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, everybody's into this game except Jamal Lord. All the pressure is on him. Now, the thing they do not want him to do is have to check off early in the ball game. So what they're telling him is, here's the play. It's good against anything they show, and just go with it.
About a 2-yard gain on the play. Second down and 8. Nebraska at its own 47-yard line. Penn State looking to blitz. They do from the corner, and it pays off. Blitz came from Sean Mayer on a safety blitz. He made the tackle, and he's a guy that'll make a lot of them. He led the team last year with almost 100, 97 in total in 2001.
Penn State has 8 and 9 guys up in the box to stop the run. So they're forcing Lord to say, hey, if you're going to beat us, you got one-on-one on the outside if you can throw it.
Let's see if he'll throw it. They show 4 receivers, so with him you always have to think quarterback draw is a possibility. He drops to throw and fires it out near side. Completes it at midfield. Cornelsen makes the grab, and it's well short of the first down. And Penn State's defense stiffens at midfield. They'll force a punt.
Smart play by Nebraska. Don't let him force it. Let him look downfield. If you don't like it, come off. Get yourself a completion.
Back deep is Bryant Johnson, and that's Kyle Larson, and he's got a wicked leg. Over 47 per on his punt so far, and he hung this one high. Johnson's got to let it go. Bounces at the 3 and out of bounds beautifully at about the 3-yard line.
How about that?
47 yards and down in the corner.
You think he did that on purpose?
I think he did, maybe.
You think he says, I'm going to kick this one over there and he's going to jump sideways?
Yeah, he did get a nice bounce. So out comes Zach Mills. He'll be working from a hole to start with. The sophomore, there's his numbers from a year ago. Really not indicative of the kind of leadership he showed Penn State, though. He made some tough touchdown runs. He had 7 of their 16 touchdowns on the ground last year, so he can do it with his arm and with his legs. The problem is he's almost standing on his own goal line to take the first snap.
Not the place you want to start the first.
Whoops, broken play. There's a holding call declined by Nebraska because they wouldn't have gained anything. You can see Joe say, calm down, guys. 37th year as the head coach, 53 here as a coach, as an assistant under Rip Engel, and then as the head man and the winningest coach Division I all time. 328 victories. And now Mills in a worse spot. Zach from his own end zone. Coming deep. Got it. Brian Johnson broke a tackle. He's got it out to the 24-yard line.
Now, you tell me, is this the Penn State of the old?
This is not your dad's Penn State.
This is not. You mentioned how long Joe's been around. I mean, Zach Mills throwing out of his own end zone on the second play of the game for Penn State. Wow.
Here's the Alamo starting lineups. Well, we'll see the replay first.
This is Bryant Johnson. He's their playmaker right there, and they're throwing at Ricketts, the corner on their right side, away from Gross, who is the big play guy defensively.
So it's a first down and some room to work now from the 24-yard line. Larry Johnson, the tailback, but it's Mills dropping to throw again. Pumps, now goes long again, and this one overshot everybody. Now let's take a look at those Alamo starting lineups for the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Here's the big eaters. Felder about 330. Smith, Iorio continues to be a great story, getting better every year. Lenda and Schmidt round out the front five. McHugh is a 265-pound fullback. Johnson's the guy that'll carry the load. Williams the tight end, and it's Johnson and Johnson at the wide receiver spots. When in doubt tonight, just say Johnson. Tony and Larry are brothers. Bryant's not related, but there's a lot of Johnsons out here tonight.
There's 6 of them on the roster.
Second down and 10. There's Brian Johnson, who got him out of that deep hole with that catch from Mills. They show an end around, and Mills will keep it. And he gets put down at about the 27-yard line. Stopped there by Pat Ricketts from his defensive cornerback position for the Black Shirts of Nebraska. And here's how they look. Chris Kelsey, the best pass rusher up front. Bingham, Clanton, and Des Moines Adams. The linebacking core. Shanley is a headhunter. Barrett Ruud inside, and DeMario Williams, a junior college transfer. Ricketts on one corner, DeJuan Gross, who Swanee talked about, on the other, and Bland and Turveting are the safety.
Watch out for some gimmicks here. The backup quarterback is in the ballgame. Robinson along with Mills, just to his left.
Let's see what they do on a third down. Mills over the middle, got it to his tight end, Casey Williams. First down, Penn State. Pick up of 14.
They just window dressing. They
Give us something to think about.
Yeah, they're showing that for something later on, I'll bet. Here's the backup quarterback right here. He's going to take off. They're going to hit the tight end right in the center of the field. Right there. Wide open.
Mills took a big hit after he let go, but he'll take it to pick up the first down. He's a tough customer. And so Penn State has worked out of the shadow of its own goalpost and out to the 42-yard line. Again, Mills drops to throw. Holy cow. Bryant Johnson, another catch at midfield. His knee went down right at the midfield stripe. What are we watching, Washington State or Florida or somebody?
You know, I think the thing that we're seeing, Brad, is that Joe and Fran Ganner trust the quarterback. I mean, he came in last year. This is his third year. He's a redshirt sophomore. So Mills has been here for 3 years. Last year he started 4 or 5 ball games, and they've got to trust him. And this year he's very poised, very bright. They say nothing but good things about this young man.
Nothing rattles him. That's the part they love. So far, Nebraska hasn't rattled him. You saw his numbers on this drive. Here's Larry Johnson's first carry. And back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Kelsey's there, so Shanley from the linebacker spot. And Larry Johnson is the guy. Last year he shared duty with Eric McCoo and Omar Easy. And he had the least amount of rushing yards in a long, long time. In fact, you have to go back to 1959 to find a team with less rushing yards from their main rusher than that 337 of Larry Johnson.
Here at Penn State, yeah.
Yep.
337 led Penn State. Can you believe that?
They haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since '97. Mills now from the shotgun. Zach, little option, but he'll keep it. Nothing there. In fact, he lost yardage on that play.
You would think if any team could defense the option, it would be Nebraska.
That's right. They see it all the time, every day. Des Moines Adams, Patrick Kabongo were in on the stop, and it's 4th down, and Penn State will bring out the punting unit. Now this should be a spot where they'd like to return the favor and knock it out of bounds inside the 10. Just don't let number 5 touch it. That's what David Royer's thinking right now.
That's gross. He's already returned 2 punts for touchdowns this year.
Snap a little low. He hangs it up. Gross has to let it go. So it's a decent kick, but it does go in the end zone, and it'll be Nebraska at the 20 when we come back. We're early at Penn State, no score. Second possession for the Cornhuskers as they'll come out again at the 20-yard line. Good looking Penn State drive, and it didn't even make it to midfield. That's how they were buried when they first started offensively. On the option, Lord will keep, and Haynes and Adams wipe that out. Don't forget next Saturday. Reminder to join ABC Sports. Another great day of college football. New Notre Dame coach Ty Willingham. His team is undefeated. 3-0 after a win today. They'll take out a Michigan State team that's going to be smarting a little bit. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. ABC Sports, the class of college football. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC Sports. Notre Dame with a win over Michigan today. 3 wideouts. Lord back to throw. He's going to swing it out in the backfield, in and out of the hands of Darren Diedrich. And I don't know if that wasn't maybe a lateral, but at any rate, incomplete and out of bounds. See where they spotted. They're going to bring it back to the line of scrimmage, so they're going to say it was a forward pass.
Well, this is something you want to get your quarterback in the game. You want to try some easy throws, and Lord made that a difficult throw for the receiver to try and catch.
Here's a look from the sideline. No, it was about straight across, I guess. Mark LaFleur, another true freshman in there as part of a 4 wideout package on 3rd down. Lord getting flush from the pocket. He does this well, though, puts his head down, and let's see if he got the first down. Gardner knocked him out of bounds. Still haven't quite seen where they're going to spot this thing. I don't think he got it.
Well, when Jamal Lord pulls that ball down, he gets very comfortable. He's like a tailback.
Yep.
He's more of a tailback than he is a quarterback when he takes off running that football.
And so Penn State's defense forces a 3 and out. Kyle Larson hit a beauty on his last punt. A 47-yarder that went out of bounds at the 3. This is not as good a kick. It might be returnable. Johnson caps under it at the 25. Straight up the middle. Got 15 on the return. So Penn State will have much better field position offensively when we come back. Still no score from Happy Valley.
And of course, Fran Gantner told us he really needed a big ball game from Zach Mills in the air to free up Larry Anderson.
So far,
Larry Johnson, excuse me.
So far, Zach's done a nice job. He'll drop back on 2nd down. Pressure coming. This one he got to Bryant Johnson. 1st down and then some. All the way to the 40-yard line of Nebraska. Pickup of 20. Philip Bland made the stop. First time either team has crossed midfield, and it's Penn State first.
Bryant Johnson is their big guy. Take a look. Good pass protection. Steps up in the pocket. Trust that your man's going to be there. And Bryant Johnson just makes a nice play. Coming across, got some speed to make some plays.
Bryant Johnson caught 51 balls last year, and he's got 3 tonight. First down at the Nebraska 40 from the shotgun now. Again, Zach Mills to throw. Flares it out, Larry Johnson. And Johnson rips off 5 yards before T.J. Hollowell makes the stop. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. I'm going to call it almost a 6-yard game. Inside the Nebraska 35. Penn State with 6:05 remaining first quarter's got a pretty good drive going. These fans have been here since, well, actually they've been here since about Wednesday night. Mills drops to throw again on 2nd down. Getting some pressure, and he throws this one away.
8 of the first 12 plays for Penn State have been passes.
That's amazing. So it's going to be a 3rd down and a long 4. We can't wait to hear the attendance because it's the largest crowd ever to see Nebraska play in person. We know that already. And we expect it to be in the 108,000 category. as they have come from all around the state of Pennsylvania to see if Joe Pa can get number 329, and more importantly, to try to upset Nebraska. So far, they've done well this quarter, but still no score. Mills, quick slant. Ball looked like it was tipped. And you can't have a pass interference on a tipped ball. I thought that one changed trajectory. Maybe it did. Chris Kelsey was getting some heat in there. And you can see Ernie Terrell is the guy that was arguing that he was held and interfered with.
The ball was not tipped. The ball was not tipped. He just kind of threw it inside of Terrell, expecting him to be a little bit further downfield.
So it brings out the punting team. I wonder if Nebraska is buying this punt. I guess they are.
Well, they're playing defense right now.
And trying to pooch it. High kick to the far corner. What a play! Tony Johnson at the 1.
It's a great play by Johnson. And if you watch a lot of NFL football, in the NFL, if the player touches the goal line, it goes in. It's like a comeback. But the ball in college football, you got to keep the ball out. The player can be in the end zone. As long as he keeps the ball out of the end zone, he's all right.
Tony Johnson with the best catch he's made tonight, the only catch he's made tonight, and that might be the best 33-yard punt you've ever seen, too.
That is huge.
Nebraska's going to have to start in their own end zone. And the crowd in that end is starting to get into it.
That's where the students are, right over there.
Diedrich's about 8 yards deep in the end zone. The tailback, it's Davies, the fullback, straight ahead. He got about 1.5 yards. Michael Haynes, one of the guys on the bottom of that pile for Penn State, along with Gino Capone, the middle linebacker.
Well, Haynes hit him in the end zone. Michael Haynes, he didn't get a lot of publicity, but he's one of the best 3 players on that defensive line. Kennedy and Adams get a lot of the play, but Haynes gets a lot of respect.
Again, both backs for Nebraska in their own end zone. On second down, it's Diedrich. He almost lost the ball, and now he's got a big seam and a first down. He bobbled that thing coming out of the end zone, but he breaks it out across the 15.
Take a look to the right side over here. Good blocking. Look at the hole he had right in there. Good play, good blocking, especially when you're backed up inside your 5-yard line.
Darren caught that handoff twice. First down, Nebraska. Here he comes again and got to the 20. Haynes again, along with Capone, make the stop. Capone, a junior out of Ashland, Pennsylvania.
Last year, Nebraska was the #1 rushing team in the country.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, and that's probably they've probably done that like 12 of the last 15 years. But the sad thing, or the shocking thing, or the worrying thing about the whole thing is Penn State was near the bottom in run defense.
Penn State was 100th in the country in that capacity last year. Screen pass set up pretty nice to Corey Ross. And whistles blow as Ross, I think, got the first down by about 1 yard. So Nebraska gets its first positive influence with a passing game with a screen pass.
Well, this has already been a successful drive for Nebraska because they've gotten it away from the shadow of their own goalpost.
Remember, they started at the 1. They're out over the 28. Ross stays in there, the little guy, the I-back spot behind the big fullback Davies. He'll get the call. He's hard to find sometimes after you've seen Diedrich in there. And then Ross comes in at 5'6". He's got another nice gain right there. Critics are calling it stylish, provocative, mysterious, and daring. Don't miss the world premiere of television's hottest new drama, Push Nevada. That's a special preview Tuesday at 9, 8 Central, only on ABC. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew in State College, Pennsylvania. No score first quarter. That has 3.5 minutes remaining. Jamal Lord has led his troops out to the 34-yard line. On the option, the pitch to Ross. Trying to get the corner, and he got it. out to the 45-yard line or very close to it, and the little guy picks up first down.
And he just used his speed once he got to the ball, to get around the end. It's like a speed option. Just run away from everybody. Take a look at it from the end zone. He just kept the two defensive men had outside position on their offensive man, but he just says, hey, I know you got outside containment, but I'm just going to run around you.
On first down, coming again. Tough run up the middle. Mayer put the hit on him. And he got it out to the 49-yard line. Pickup of about 4 more.
And Bob and Brad, just think, Corey Ross almost might not have been on this football team. Last spring, he called his high school coach and said, I'm not feeling that comfortable about being on the depth chart, being like number 6 or 7. And that's where he was on the fall camp. His high school coach said, just go back, play as hard as you can, and see what happens. He did, worked his way up, sharing the number 1 spot.
Not bad. When you go from 7 to number 2 or co-number 1 with Diedrich, you've done your work. Second down at 6. He'll get the call again. This time put down by Lamar Stewart. Calvin Lowry helped out on the stop. The one thing that the Penn State defensive coaches were worried about, they said, you know, they'll chip away at you with that running game, and pretty soon they're going to ride that fullback and they're going to drop back off play action and let one go. And that's what Tom Bradley's worried about.
Yeah, he said they got the best play action game. Of course, when they run so much, he says, I'm worried about it. He says, we need to survive the first quarter and get up to speed with that option that Nebraska runs, and then survive that play action pass that they'll pull on you.
They've almost survived the first quarter so far. It has a minute 45 left. They stretch Lord out, and they'll drop him short of a first down. And it's Lowry along the line to stretch it out and drop him.
The Penn State defensively is stopping the run. Looks like Jamal's got a problem with the shoulder pads. May have busted the strings. Yeah, he did.
Boy, they did. Called that one. Get that one out of there.
Seen that look before.
So a punt coming up from Kyle Larson. This is about the spot he hit the beauty early in the quarter. He's going to kick it the other way, or try to. Almost a dandy there, but they couldn't quite track it down. Penn State will have it back on offense. We've got a little over a minute left first quarter. Still no score. Texas has the Williams. We have the Johnsons.
Yep.
No score. Minute 04.
And Texas got Chris Sims. I like him
yeah, I like
a lot.
that too.
Yeah.
So now it's Penn State from the 20. The toss. Larry Johnson. Pollard broke a tackle. Going to make positive yardage. Got about a tough 5. Michael Schumacher's the first Formula One driver to win 10 races in a single season. Tomorrow he'll try to put a Ferrari in victory lane for a record 15th time. It's the Italian Grand Prix tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific, right here on ABC Sports. As Bob said, the coaches said we have to survive quarter number 1 to adjust to Nebraska's speed. And quarter number 1 is 30 seconds away from being over. And Nebraska only had 1 snap in Penn State territory that whole first quarter. They try to go to Brian Johnson. In and out of his hands. He gets a slap on the backside from DeJuan Gross. That's a matchup we'll watch tonight. One of the great corners and one of the very fine wide receivers in college football.
Well, he got open, but it took him a little while to get there. And by that time, he had to throw the football.
There was some pressure coming on Zach Mills that time.
Yes. Penn State's offensive got the ball on their own 3-yard line, and then on the 40-yard line, 2 punts. Nebraska's had it 3 times and has punted all 3. So we've had 5 possessions, 5 punts.
On third down, Zach Mills throws on the run. Got Tony Johnson. And Johnson's out to the 44-yard line. A pickup of 19 before Gross can bring him down. That's Tony's first catch other than that punt he shagged down at the 1-yard line.
Well designed, well executed. Both wide receivers on this side of the field. Bryant Johnson clears it out. Tony breaks to the outside, and because the quarterback is out that way, it's an easy throw. Not for a left-hander, but he did it very nicely.
And that's probably going to bring the first quarter to a close. Been a good, tough football game so far through 15. Everybody stands. Joe Paterno says everybody over. End of the first quarter, no score between Nebraska and Penn State. We'll be back after this word from our ABC stations.